state may call their next witness.
Thank you. The city's going to call Zach Schilling, please.
I'm sorry, Zach.
Zach Schilling.
Zach Schilling.
Please watch your step. If you'll remain standing, raise your right hand, face clerk.
You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Zackary Schilling, Zackary, Schilling, Schilling.
May I proceed? Thank you. Sir, do you know someone by the name of Robert Tellis?
I do.
When did you first meet Mr. Tellis?
2020.
Okay. Do you see Mr. Tellis here in the courtroom?
I do.
Why don't you point out where he's sitting, maybe describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
He's got a blue suit on, sitting right over there, bald head.
Okay. Let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant. So in what context do you meet the defendant?
2020, I'm a real estate agent,
Okay.
and I started working with Robert shortly after I believe he was elected to his position, helping to sell probate houses.
Okay. So he was the public administrator when you first met him.
Yes.
Do you have a business partner?
Yes, I do.
What is her name?
His name, Bob McMasters.
Okay. Did
And
you have
that's-
another partner that you worked with?
Oh, yeah, Kristen Riffle. That's my real partner, yeah.
Okay. So that was
Well, I guess when you asked me that, that's how I met Bob, through Bob.
okay. But the one that you work with, even still today, is Kristen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So you would help sell homes through the public administrator. Is that right?
That is correct.
Just briefly, what's that kind of concept? So someone passes away and they don't have a will, and then there's a home left behind. Is that kind of how
That's
you get
correct,
involved?
and there's typically, there's not a family per se, or the family's distant. That's when the public administration office steps in and helps with the estate.
Okay. So if you were tasked to help the public administrator's office help, I don't know, get a home fixed up or resell it, would you have interactions with Mr. Tellis?
Yes,
Would you see him in person?
yes.
Describe typically something you might do in person with Mr. Tellis.
Well, typically, we would, when the house was assigned, we'd walk through the house and say, this is what needs to be taken care of, this is what we're getting rid of. And then typically after the house was finished and completed, we would meet, look at the house. Rob would give us a thumbs up. We then would go over comps. During that process, we would talk about the value, and typically then the listing agreement would be signed either in person or through DocuSign.
So when you're saying you would do a walkthrough, who would typically be there at a walkthrough?
Typically, it would be myself, Robert Tellis, Roberta, Bob McMasters, and Raul, who was the general contractor, who wasn't a general contractor.
And Roberta, meaning Roberta Kennett?
Yes.
All right. So when you would do a
Well,
walk,
but if I may,
Sure.
if there was another, somebody in the same position as Roberta, would
Okay.
be, whoever was in charge of the file under Robert would be there.
understood. But when you say walkthrough, you're literally walking through with Mr. Tellis?
That's correct.
So you get to see him literally walk.
Yes.
How long would a walkthrough typically take?
We could be there a half hour to an hour, or sometimes he could be in and out of there in 10, 15 minutes.
All right. On average, how many times a month would you be doing walkthroughs with Mr. Tellis?
Well, I would say that on average from 2020 to 2022, I'd see Mr. Tallis probably 1 to 3 times a month at least.
Okay, doing things like you've just
Yeah.
described to us.
Yeah, especially during the heat of it, yes.
And the heat of being what? COVID?
Heat of when we were really turning houses for him.
Understood. And you mentioned 2020 to 2022, is that right?
Yes.
It's about 3 years, roughly,
Two-
or a little,
two- yeah.
a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. at some point and I want to turn your attention to September, very early September of 2022. Do you become aware of a journalist, Jeff Gehrman, passing away?
Yes.
I don't want to get into the substance of it, but like, how do you learn about it in general?
I saw how I learned that he died was, a picture on the news. Then shortly after that, I think there was police video or police photos that were released of the suspected person that had done that.
Okay, so bottom line is, at first you see through the news, it's just kind of reporting what happened. It was a fairly big story. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Okay, at least locally,
Yes.
it's a big story. And then you mentioned something else. You said that the police released what?
The police released photos of who they suspected perhaps might be the person responsible for.
Do you remember kind of generally like what the outfit was? What do you remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what do you remember?
It was a sombrero, a flame construction vest, I think long sleeve shirt. The shoes were some Nikes.
Okay.
They're the Nikes like you find like at Marshalls or Ross.
Okay. So you mentioned those Nikes. So when you see those images first released of the suspect walking around, does that catch your attention?
Yes,
Why?
it does. With the way that, just in the photos itself, and the likeliness of the photos and of Mr. Tellis were really, really close.
Is it just photos, or is there a video that you're seeing this person walk? In the videos released by the police, did you see the videos too?
Yes.
So you see this suspect walking. What are you thinking at that point?
That was on a Friday,
Okay.
and I'm like, boy, that really, it's like, boy, that really looks like somebody I know.
Okay. And who is the person you're thinking of?
I was thinking of Mr. Tellis.
Okay. Was there anything else aside from the walk that caught your attention when you looked at the videos of that person?
The gait and Mr. Tellis would always wear a certain kind of Nike that was very unique to me.
Okay, so
Maybe I'm a little bit of a fashionista, but like the Nikes that you would find like at Marshalls or Ross, where they replaced the leather with like a plastic almost, and the hard plastic. They're cheap Nikes you always wore. I don't know.
So when you saw the video, the guys you described in the sombrero and the construction and the orange construction outfit, you thought the shoes reminded you of the shoes that Robert Tellis wore.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And the gait.
Yeah, and the way that he walked, the way that he carried, the way that it was carried.
So when you see this, do you like share these thoughts with anyone?
Well, with my partner Christy, I'm like, holy crap! Both of us agreed that really looked like Rob Tellis. But to jump to a conclusion like that about somebody, you have to be pretty sure yourself.
And let me ask you this: did you kind of follow or know about any articles that Mr. Gehrman had written about Mr. Tellis?
Oh yeah, I was very familiar.
I don't want to get into the substance of it, but you were aware of kind of that leading up to this moment.
Yeah, I was very familiar with what was going on.
Okay, so on that Friday, you see that, you talk to Kristen. Do you pick up the phone and call the police at that point?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I want to flash forward a few days later. Do you see something else in the media that catches your attention?
Yeah, I was on Monday. The Reno Gazette released photos of who, again, they believed was responsible for Mr. Gehrman's death's car.
Okay, a car. What is it about the car that caught your attention?
That it was Rob Tellis's car, maroon, Tahoe, Denali, whatever, older version, silver rims.
Had you ever seen Mr. Tellis drive this maroon?
Absolutely.
vehicle? When? Where?
Well, Robert Tellis and I live close to each other, so
In what part of town?
I live in Summerlin Center and he lives in Coley Ranch.
Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off. Tell us what you were going to say.
Well, in fact, is there was one instance where Robert Tellis and I both went and go to the same water store on Sahara and Fort Apache.
Okay.
And we were in the store together. We walked out kind of together. He loaded his water into the back of a maroon Denali Tahoe, whatever it is, maroon with silver rims.
Okay.
Which is when the pictures came up from the Reno Gazette. I called Christy and I was like, and there's like just came down my spine. I was like, holy crap! I didn't want to believe it, but the facts are the facts that was Rob Tellis's car.
Okay, so you share that with Christy. What's her kind of reaction to what you're saying?
She's like, you need to call.
Objection, hearsay.
It's may I be heard? I mean, I can approach her. We can approach. So you share your thoughts with Kristen, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you have a conversation with her, right? Mm-hmm. And after speaking with Kristen, what do you decide to do?
I called Crime Stoppers, and the phone did not, it wouldn't go through. There was a secondary phone call that was suggested, phone number, I believe it was on the news, and so it would turn into a counterintelligence, whatever, terrorist thing, and they were covering those phone calls after the photos were released. And I spoke to someone on the phone for about 15, 20 minutes, and they said, please stay by your phone, the detectives are going to want to talk to you. I didn't hear from the detectives, but the following morning, that's when Robert Tellis's house was raided, and he was brought into custody.
Okay. And then a few weeks later, let's say approximately on September 26th of 2022, do you ultimately sit down and do an interview with the police?
Yeah, the detectives come to my office and talk to me.
All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Schilling, was it just your testimony that you saw this image on the TV on a Friday?
Yes, it was a Friday. It's been a little while, but that's when I saw it first, because I thought it was through the whole weekend that it was like, no, this can't be.
Okay, so it's your testimony then on a Friday you saw this on TV, and that's when you...
The photos of the suspected, yes.
I see. You'd had a business relationship with Mr. Tellis previously, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And you guys had a break, fair to say?
A break?
Yeah, the business relationship ended.
No,
I see. So you were still in business with Mr. Tellis?
that's correct. We just did, a couple weeks before, just had finished revamping a house for him. Independent of my former partner at the probate department, Bob McMaster.
And is it your testimony then that there had been not an issue concerning the percentages that were being charged to the estate or to the homes, concerning the homes to be sold?
Was there a concern?
Yes.
No. Well, I mean, there, at one point, long before this, probably a year and a half before, Robert and I had a disagreement about the commission when he overspent on a house, having it revamped, where I told him I told him the value was much lower, and he believed because of Zello that it was higher, but that's not really relevant to what.
Well, I submit it
Yeah.
is. I mean, so he was trying to preserve money to the heirs from the sale of the home, correct?
In that particular case that you're bringing up,
Yes.
he actually went opposite of what my advice was and spent entirely way too much money with Bob McMaster's revamping that house. And my comps I didn't agree with the comps that they were trying to push the value on. And it turned out that my value was correct. And because of that, and because of what they overspent on revamping that house, he then came to me and said, you need to take a commission break, which I pushed back, but ultimately I did do.
So then there was an issue. He wanted you to lower your commission in order for the heirs to receive more money, correct?
Yes, but after that fact, there was still, we probably did 20 or 30 other houses after that.
So that you guys did have a dispute. He was trying to say, you're getting too much money, I want to preserve that money to the heirs, correct?
In one instance out of about 40 houses, sure.
Okay, now it's 40 houses.
Well, whatever we did, I don't know the exact number of, offhand, I think it was probably about 32 houses that I went through the probate department with, but I could be wrong, so don't nail me to the cross on that, but that's about right.
Nail you to the cross. I mean, you're coming in here, you're basically some expert on some gate that you see on TV, you just know it's Robert Tallis, correct? That's your testimony. You reach out and you call Crime Stoppers, correct?
That's correct.
What date did you call Crime Stoppers?
On the Monday,
What's the date? Do you recall?
no, I don't.
You were interviewed on the 28th of September, correct?
That's correct.
Or in this case, it's the 26th of August.
I'm sorry, it's
It's
the
the 26th.
26th, correct?
You have you have it in front of you.
Yes. And during this interview, you talk about a friend of yours that's on SWAT that raided Mr. Tellis's house, correct?
That is correct.
He told you about the raiding of Mr. Tellis's house, correct?
Yes,
And you were friends, correct?
I grew up with him.
And then you decide that you want to give testimony that hurts Mr. Tellis, correct? You want to talk to the police and say that you,
It's argumentative.
I think it's fair.
You can answer, you can answer.
You're then interviewed by police, correct? And you give testimony or you give a statement that could be easily read as hurtful to Mr. Tellis, correct?
That's your interpretation.
So saying he's the guy that murdered Jeff Tellis, that's not hurtful? My interpretation?
That's a fact.
I see. So you're calling and saying, I see something, I think this is Robert Tellis. That's not hurtful? Or is that hurtful?
It was my,
It's argumentative, Your Honor.
You can answer, go ahead.
I have no malice against Robert Tellis.
I see. But you had some issues with him concerning your percentage and that's being cut, correct?
One has nothing to do with the other.
And you talked to your friend, good friend of yours from high school that was on SWAT, involved in this investigation, correct?
Yes,
And then you give a statement to police concerning Mr. Tellis, fair enough?
that's fair, but one has nothing to do with the other.
Thank you, I have no further questions.
Just real briefly. Okay, so the whole disagreement about evaluating that house, how long before Mr. Garman is killed is that disagreement over how to value the house? How far back in the past is that?
A year and a half.
Okay. After you
if
have.
not, yeah.
Hey, just give me a second. Okay, so it's about a year and a half later. After that house issue, whatever house that was, do you continue to do business with the public administrator's office?
Yes,
And just to be clear, do that office have to send the business your way? Is that how that works? Do they reach
no,
out
they
to?
don't have to.
But they select people they want to use to help refurbish the house,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Who is the head of the public administrator's office after the disagreement about the Zillow evaluation? Does Mr.
Still Mr. Tellis.
So it was still him. Do you continue to refurbish houses on behalf of the public administrator's office after the Zillow disagreement?
Yes,
For how much longer leading up to Mr. Garman's death?
a year and a half.
Okay. And Rob Tellis remained the public administrator during that 1.5 year period?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything, Franz?
Yes, thank you. After this disagreement concerning the percentage on the sale of the home or the homes, Bob
One home.
and
Just one home.
your partner dropped you as a partner, correct? Bob,
That's
it goes to his bias mode. Thank you.
No, that's actually not correct. Bob McMasters and I both worked together at Urban Nest, and when I moved to Simply Vegas did not want Bob McMasters as a real estate agent there, and that's why we separated.
Fair
And
to say.
after that fact, I'm going to go ahead and add for you and help
Oh,
you.
please do.
After that fact, I went ahead and put together my own team.
Okay.
And we started doing revamps then.
Okay, and after you putting together your own team and stuff, this happened after you had an issue with Mr. Tellis concerning the percentage, correct, of the sale?
a year and a half or so later, yes.
And ultimately, you were not involved in the sale of homes in relation to the,
Well,
Mr. Tellis's office.
The assignments of homes stopped about the same time as Mr. Gierman passed away.
I see.
And
that's your recollection?
That's when the assignment of homes stopped.
All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Anything else for these witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, it looks like I have a question. If you just stay here for just a moment,
No problem.
We have a question for Ventura. Can the attorneys approach? We have a note from a juror, it's been marked as court's exhibit number 8. Did he talk to his friend before or after he was interviewed by the detective?
When you say my friend, do you mean my police officer friend? Or who do you mean friend?
Only permitted to ask the question as it is written. Does the state have any further?
Sure. So, yeah, I'll do a follow-up. So, sir, do you talk, you mentioned you had a conversation at some point with a fellow SWAT officer that you knew, is that right?
Is that a yes?
Yes, yes.
The conversations you had with the SWAT officer, was that before you called Crime Stoppers or after you called?
Much after.
Okay. And I know there was the question posed, a friend. Did you have a conversation with Kristen before you called Crime Stoppers or after?
Before.
Okay.
All the way through the whole weekend.
Okay, so your conversation with Kristen is before you call Crime Stoppers. You call Crime Stoppers, and then at the end of the month, at the end of September, September 26th, that's when you have an interview with the police. But somewhere in between, is that a yes?
Yes, that is, I'm sorry.
And somewhere in between, I don't know, a week after Mr. Derriman passes away in September 26th, you have some sort of conversation with someone from SWAT. Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Kristen conversation, Crime Stoppers, somewhere in the span of 2 to 3 weeks, talking to a SWAT guy, and at the end of the month, you were talking with Metro and giving us just an interview about your observations.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, but and obviously we have to rely upon your recollection of order of things, but what we do have clear, you'll agree with me, is that you spoke with your friend with SWAT before you were interviewed by detectives on September 26th, correct?
Yes.
And you had to think about that for a minute, but you reviewed that
No,
transcript of your interview before
Yeah.
testifying today, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. So you'll agree with me that this idea that you spoke to your friend with SWAT, you did that before you then were interviewed by detectives. Fair to say?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Anything else?
Well, nothing just on that.
Thank you very much for your testimony here today. You may step down and you are excused from your subpoena. Thank you very much for being here.